Hi, I'm Zach, an Associate Challenger of Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. So if you'd like to get either a Vedic Astrology or a Tarot reading from me, you can do so at my website. It'll be linked down in the description box below. Okay, so just a reminder, make sure that you're checking your Vedic sidereal placements, not your Western tropical. So your Vedic sidereal placements, you would check those on a Vedic sidereal astrology calculator. You can find that online. But I just want to make sure that y'all are using the accurate signs, because otherwise your reading's going to be completely off. Okay, Virgo. So let's get into your reading here. So make sure that you're using Virgo, Ascendant, and Moon Sun. And let's talk about the eclipse. So the solar eclipse is going to be taking place on April 19th. That's when it begins, and it ends on April 20th. Now, the eclipse is going to be taking place in your 8th house in the sign of Aries. Okay, so what is the 8th house? Okay, so 8th house represents a lot of things. I'm going to go over some of the more difficult things first. 8th house can represent death. It can represent inheritance, wills and estates, legacies. 8th house can also represent bonuses through your work. It can represent business finances. It can represent your significant other's family, so your in-laws. It can represent joint finances with your significant other. It can also represent insurance, taxes. Okay. 8th house can also represent sudden events, transformation. It can represent your psychology, like your psychological baggage. Okay. So these are going to be the areas of life where you will see a big change. See, wherever a solar eclipse takes place, that's where you'll see a big change in your life. Now, this solar eclipse in particular is going to be big. For everybody in the world, wherever the sign of Aries sits in their chart, big changes are going to happen. Now, the reason for that is because on top of having the karmic nodes, Rahu and Ketu there, which is going to bring an eclipse, you also have Saturn aspecting with its third aspect, and you have Jupiter that's going to move into the sign of Aries a couple of days after the eclipse. Okay, so these are going to bring just a massive change in that sign. Now, for you, this is going to be a little rough. It's going to be a little rocky. Because 8th house can be the most difficult house to deal with. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Now, it's not all bad. 8th house is also the occult. So for instance, you could be getting into astrology, because astrology is an occult science. Occult's also tarot. But these are going to be the areas where you're going to have major changes in your life, though. So on the negative side, yes, somebody could die. On a more positive note, you could get a major bonus at work. There could be a major transformation in your life for the better. 8th house is also hidden things. You could discover something that you didn't know before that completely changes things in your life. 8th house is also surgeries. You could get a surgery that saves your life. So these are the things that you will notice that are going to happen. Now, this is going to happen within a few days of the eclipse. It can either be just before the eclipse or just after or even during. So definitely a big change is going to happen where Aries sits. And for you, that's your 8th house. Now, let's talk about the lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse is going to be in your 2nd house, in the sign of Libra. So, one last note before I stop talking about the solar eclipse. So this solar eclipse is going to be taking place in a constellation that is tied to healing and miracles. So for those of you that are expecting more of the negative, this constellation's actually quite likely to do the opposite. So I would expect more positive results with this constellation, especially health-wise. Okay, now for the lunar eclipse. So this is going to be taking place in your second house in Libra. So what happens when there's a lunar eclipse is this is the area of life where you're going to be obsessed with. Because moon represents your mind and emotions. So imagine those being kind of taken over. Now, not literally, but basically that's what you're going to be thinking about nonstop, is wherever the lunar eclipse takes place. So, what is second house? Second house is your finances, it's your savings, it's the money that you earn on a regular basis, it's your family, it's your speech, it's also your face, so that includes your teeth. So these are the areas of life that you're going to be thinking about nonstop. Maybe you're having dental work done, in which case, both your 8th house and your second house will be activated. You might be having dental surgery and, that affects your teeth too, so second house is being activated. Or this could be related to your family, or your finances. So these are going to be the areas of life that you're going to be obsessing about, though. Just you're going to be thinking about those areas of life nonstop until the next lunar eclipse takes place. Alright, but that's what I have for you, Virgo. And if you like my readings, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me and the channel out. And I'll catch you in the next one, Virgo.